Hey everybody, this here's Bubba. You might remember me from Hurricane Irma. Now I'm reporting from Florence here in the Hurricane Central, Land O'Lakes, Florida at Shahanigan's. As you can see, the conditions here are pretty rough. The skies aren't even all blue. I mean, it's just it's pretty rough. But you know, we're gonna push through it, and I'm gonna provide some helpful tips for everybody to get through Florence, because it's going to be nasty. It already is nasty. But anyway, you can see all the damage we had from before. There was a tree there. You probably can't tell that. But anyhow, wait a minute. Got me some tattoos since last time y'all saw me. Life's been good. Damn fire ants. Anyway, we're here at Land O'Lakes Central, and they're what? Closer? Oh shit, my producer's telling me we gotta get closer to the storm. I'm not liking the looks of this. I mean, look at that shit behind me right there. It's nasty. It's coming. Look right up there. Jeez, it's a cloud behind the palm tree. Anyway, we're gonna move in closer. I'm not liking the looks of this, but anyway, hopefully we're gonna provide y'all some helpful tips here soon on dealing with these hurricanes, because Bubba is an expert at wait a minute. Hurricanes. See y'all in a bit. All right, everybody. I understand people are dealing with some pretty disastrous, catastrophic, of exponential proportions of a disaster called Florence. So the key thing is to be prepared. You gotta be prepared. You gotta. So speaking of which, wait a minute. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about preparations, the things you should have on hand. Now, obviously, it's too late for y'all some bitches now. But next time, you know, it's coming handy. I don't know, maybe, if you make it. You're gonna need to have on hand. Hydration is important. Y'all know it. So, a selection of beer. Very important. If you do not have this, you will suffer. You will suffer. Now, it's not, you can't just drink beer. You also have to have sustenance. So we're gonna have some sustenance with our Mountain Dew. Now you can alternate between these safely as long as you maintain the proper ratios of 2 beers to 1 Mountain Dew. Don't screw that up. So, all right, but that ain't all you need. Obviously, this is important. This is a hurricane, so you're gonna need to eventually you're gonna need some of this here. This here's tequila. And I'm not going to drink that like I do my beer. Wait a minute. I said beer. So you're going to need tequila. So you can also alternate this with these other important liquids. Maintaining the proper ratios. And I would advise you. You know, in some cases you can just alternate 1-to-1 beer and tequila, and it works just fine for me, especially when things are getting rough. You're not feeling good. Now, every now and then you're gonna want a bottle of water. I don't recommend a high volume of this. You're gonna be pissing your ass off drinking all that beer and Mountain Dew. So I'll just drink like 1 a day. So make sure you pack at least 1 bottle of water per day that you're expecting to be, you know, under rough conditions, stuck in a house or on a rooftop. Actually, if you're going to be on a rooftop, you're not going to have time to take up water. So just take your beer to the rooftop. You can only carry so much at a time. So anyway, and the last thing that's really important here, I mentioned sustenance, and you got to start off every day, right, is a little bit of coffee. So as you can see, this to me is a little bit of coffee. You're going to need that all day long. So this is something, if you could just do it intravenously, I'd say go for it. But you're going to need to drink a hell of a lot of that. So we've got about 4 or 5 beers per 2 Mountain Dews, per 2 to 3 tequila shots, or you can skip the Mountain Dew and just do the tequila and the beer in equal proportions. But all through the day, you've got to be drinking the Maxwell House. It's good to the last drop, so why not drink it all the way to the last drop? So that's our preparedness for nutrition and hydration. Very important. Next, we're going to talk about cleaning up some of that aftermath. Things can get pretty nasty. So you know, you're going to want to have yourself a razor knife. Now, this comes in real handy. I mean, you can cut shit, of course, but sometimes there's looters, and them some bitches, you just gonna cut them. I'd cut them. I'll cut them if they even look at me funny. So, so have your razor knife, and there's things that you can do with it, but we're not going to talk about it. You know, you're going to need to remove things like trees and, you know, telephone poles, and your car is going to be under a tree, and you might need to mess with those people who messed with you. And so just disregard the blood on this particular one. This is my off-season axe on my other job. You know, I take care of business for people. But anyway, so axes, very handy, and don't require electricity, which is also very handy after the disaster. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of water. There's going to be a lot of water. It's going to be a mess. So you're going to need something to clean up all that water. So a roll or maybe two of paper towels, just depending on how many feet of storm surge you're going to be in. So up in you know, the Hatteras or Nags Head area, you can probably get away with just one roll. But down a little further south, you're probably going to need, I don't know, 1.5. That's probably going to be bad. But anyway, don't forget, you know, for eventually you're going to want some power, because you're going to have to keep the beer cold. And so that's where the extension cord comes in. Now, you may see me from time to time wearing this extension cord, but that's just for a fashion statement. It's really not useful at all. You've seen me wear it before, and I didn't need it, but it just looks damn good, so I did. And the other thing you're also going to need to do, you're going to have yourself a cooler, because you're going to need to keep your beer cold. There it is. When there ain't no power. So when your neighbor's house comes power, or a store or something like that, that's where this long extension cord is going to come in handy, because you're going to go steal their power. So that's what you do there. If you see somebody with a generator, just, you know, don't steal the damn generator and cause a ruckus. Just go plug in the extension cord and quietly peep around the back of the house and run your small refrigerator full of beer. So that's what we're talking about. I think that's about everything that you need to know for hurricane preparedness. Stay dry, stay hydrated. Don't forget about the beer. Reporting a little closer to the storm here. You can hear the winds. I'm having trouble stabilizing myself in these winds. It is absolutely incredible. And these are some tropical hurricane force winds. I don't know what to tell you, but almost lost my hat. It's really rough, and I'm gonna have to get into some safer conditions here, and we're gonna talk to you here soon. Here we are in the storm. We're having a little bit of a band of rain coming in. It's just a little drizzle. It was much worse earlier. I don't know if you can hear me through the torrential downpours, but whew, it's something else. So we're here, and there's some major flooding going on that these rains and the storm surge have caused. I have got my safety device on. So, you know, it's safety first. You gotta have safety first. I don't even have a beer in my hand. I mean, that's how serious Bubba takes this stuff when you're in the eye of the storm. So anyway, I'm gonna go over here and show y'all something where you can see the flooding all around me has really just, I mean, if it weren't for this safety device, I don't know if I could make it, you know, because Bubba don't swim. Bubba drinks too much. So I'm gonna get over here, and you will hear this wall of water behind me. You're probably hearing it now. These conditions are unprecedented at Hurricane Central. And we'll see, as you can see here, the waters are coming down as if it were a waterfall. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, it's almost as if it was made to be this way permanently. There's so much, oh my goodness, I can't even touch it. It's so deep. I'm gonna go back over here into more shallower waters, fighting my way against the storms. The winds, the rain are driving directly into my face and practically down my throat. I can barely breathe out of here. All right, I'm gonna go find some safer grounds. All right. We're back out of that there storm. We're in some safer conditions here at Hurricane Central, Land O'Lakes, Florida. Shenanigans. It was a rough one up there in that band storm. I got to tell you something else. So anyhow, what we want to talk about here is how to stay safe in those conditions. Up here, folks. My eyes are up here. So anyhow, what we're talking about here is safety conditions. So you may have noticed I used some of my safety equipment while I was in the storm band, Hurricane Florence. So the first thing you're going to need is some daggone goggles, because I couldn't see a thing without those. We had to start all over again in our production. The team was in just danger in the storm. And so we had to have some goggles. So we did that. We had our goggles. So the next thing that you'll notice that I had on from the storm, besides my trophy husband uniform, which my wife makes me wear, is the personal flotation device. Now this is mine. I've had this for years. Not everybody can get one as nice as this, but this is mine. So all you looters, this is mine. Anyhow, that kept me safe, so I could come back here and report to you about the safety stuff, which I probably should have done in hindsight before I risked my life. But I'm Bubba, so wait a minute. Yeah. All right then. So next thing we're going to show you, you can't just worry about yourself when it comes to safety. I mean, the first thing you got to do is have things when the floods are coming. You have got to have something to secure your beer. And because that's why I wear a hat that says beer right on it. I mean, beer is important to Bubba. So you have to have something. Now these you can get anywhere. They are very cheap. They are flexible. You can wrap them around your beer cooler. Don't forget, by all means, to put ice in the cooler first. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be storm stupid. Put ice on your beer. Wrap your beer in a little floaty noodle thingy, and keep your beer safe. Now, some people also like to keep things safe, like pets and children, and some even wives. But so you can use these for them too. You just wrap them around their necks or under their arms or their waist, if you don't care whether their head's under or above. I mean, at least you show some effort. But use these. They can save all your stuff. I mean, I've even tied a bottle of tequila to one end of it. So they're universal. It's a universal tool. That's the noodle, and the noodle can help you. You can also stuff some cigars up in that hole right there and keep them floating for you. Just make sure they're wrapped in cellophane or your Ziploc bags, or whatever. I do not recommend putting them in condoms and inserting them into rectums or anything like that, because it's it just doesn't work out too good. So the last thing I'm going to show you here, now this is for the people that come from the, I don't know, with the born with the silver spoon in their mouth. Sometimes they like some of the upgraded safety devices and locations that may look like this. Some of them just leave, which is kind of crazy to leave the actual eye of the storm and the flood. I mean, we're all gonna live. It ain't like it kills people. So but anyway, you're gonna stick it out in one of these kind of things. You got your palm tree. Just make sure, very importantly, that whichever one you choose, if you're going to spend any amount of time in it, it should have a cup holder. Waters can get rough, and you may need two hands at some time. So have a cup holder if you can find one with it. If not, then if you've got some of those noodles that you've got pets or children on, I'd say just take the noodle off of one of them and make sure you're securing your beer during the floods. Oh, and the last thing, of course, I mean, who could live without their Crocs? I mean, I wear these 24/7. I wear them in bed, I wear them in the bathroom, shower, and in the floods. And during that flooding I was just showing you a little while ago, I had them on in there too. So they float. So they help you stay floated, and you can stick a beer down inside of one of them things right there, and keep your beer floating. And what's great about it is you can have two beers at one time floating. Just don't forget to secure them to your person. That's it from Bubba. Wait a minute. That's it from Bubba here in Hurricane Central, Land Lakes, Florida. That's your Hannigan's. Y'all keep them safe up there.